welcome back to my ASMR channel, Dream ASMR. I hope that you're all doing really well. I was thinking about which video to do next for you, and since my Inaudible Whispers video was the video that got the most views in the ones that I've made so far, I thought maybe I could do an Inaudible Whispers video like once every 2 weeks or once a month. Let me know, guys, if you like those types of videos. I just noticed from I only have like 5 or 6 videos that are up now, but I noticed that the Inaudible Whispers one was the one that was liked the most and it had the most views. So I thought that maybe you guys liked this content and you wanted more of it. It is a very relaxing type of video to do and to film. And now today's book that I chose to read for you is this book. And this is the Astrophysics for people in a hurry, and it is written by none other than Neil De Grasse Tyson. I think my husband attended one of his lectures, I think about 3 years ago, and I like the fact that he kind of like simplifies astrophysics, and he makes science more interesting and more relatable to a lot of people. Like, even if you're not a scientist, you would still be able to get something out of his lectures and his talks, which is really nice. So I thought that this would be an interesting book for us to read together in Inaudible Whispers. This time I have the mic closer to me, just so that I can give you, more tingles, as I am reading. Okay, so let's start. I'm just going to read this part of the book because I just find that it's too funny in whispers, and then I'll start the inaudible. So here it says, "For all those who are too busy to read fat books, yet nonetheless seek a conduit to the cosmos." I think that this really sums up how he approaches his science talks. Okay, so let's begin. In recent years, more than a week has gone by without news of cosmic discovery worthy of banner headlines. While media gatekeepers may have developed an interest in the universe, this rise in coverage likely comes from a genuine increase in the public appetite for science. Evidence for this abounds, from hit television shows inspired or informed by science to the success of During the blank era of the early universe, that's the infinite interval of time t equals 0 up to t equals 10 to the power of negative 43 seconds, 43 seconds, 43 seconds. 1 10 million trillion trillion trillionth of a second. 1 10 million trillion 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 trillionth of a second. After the beginning and before the universe grew to 10 the power of negative 35 meters, 100 billion trillion trillionth of a meter across the German physicist Max Planck, after whom these unimaginably small quantities are named, introduced the idea of quantized energy in the 1900s, and is generally credited as the father of the quantum mechanics. The clash between gravity and quantum mechanics poses no particular problem for the contemporary universe. Astrophysicists apply the tenets and the rules of general relativity and quantum mechanics to very different classes of problems. But in the beginning, during the Planck era, the large was small, and we suspect that there must have been a kind of shotgun weddening between the two. Alas, the vows exchanged during the ceremony continued to elude us, and so no laws of physics describe with any confidence the behavior of the universe over that time. We nonetheless expect that by the end of the Planck era, gravity wriggled loose from the other still unified forces of nature, achieving an independent identity, nicely described by our current theories. As the universe aged through 10 to the power of negative 35 seconds, it continued to expand, diluting all the concentrations of energy, and what remained of the unified forces split into the electroweak and the strong nuclear forces. Later still, the electroweak force split into the electromagnetic and the weak nuclear forces, lay bearing four distinct forces we have to come to know and love, with the weak force controlling the radioactive decay, the strong force binding the atomic nucleus, and the electromagnetic force binding molecules and gravity blinking bulk matter. A trillionth of a second has passed since the beginning. All the while, the interplay of matter in the form of subatomic particles and energy in the form of photons, massless vessels of light energy that are as much waves as their particles, were incessant. The universe had not enough for these photons, and simultaneously convert their energy into matter, antimatter, particle pairs, which immediately thereafter annihilate, returning to the energy back to the photons. Yes, animator is true. Animator is true. And we discovered it in non-science fiction writers. These transmogrifications are entirely prescribed by Einstein's most famous question, E equals mc squared, which is the two-way recipe for how much matter your energy is worth and how much energy matter is worth. The c to the power of 2 is the speed of light squared, a huge number which, when multiplied by mass, reminds us how much energy you actually get in this exercise. Shortly before, during, and after the strong and electroweak forces partly accompany, the universe was a seething soup of quarks, leptons, and their antimatter siblings, along with bosons, the particle that enables their interaction. None of these particle families is thought to be divisible into anything smaller or more basic, though each comes in several varieties. The ordinary photon is a member of the boson family. The leptons, most familiar to the non-physicist, are the electron and perhaps the neutron, and the most familiar quarks are, well, there are no familiar quarks. Each of the 6 subspecies has once every 2 weeks or once a month if you want more of these types of videos. For my upcoming videos, I will have some time during the end of next week, a video, a try-on haul from H&M, where I got some clothes for work. There was a crazy sale there and I was able to get a lot of really nice pieces for work. So that will be maybe in about 2 videos time. So like the end of next week, whenever this video is up. I also will probably be filming an eating candy video. I found these very nice handmade candy at this farmer's market that I went to recently, and I was very intrigued, and I thought that I could make a video showing them to you and maybe trying some. So if you like to watch ASMR eating sounds, this video is going to come up really soon. Okay, I hope that you have a great day or night, and I will see you all in my next